Hey guys, I'm Scott Carson, one of the founding members of the ACBA, the Aesthetic Cosmetic Business Association. I'm here at the invitation of Kris Groop, the Aesthetic Advisor TV, to be interviewed about some of the changes that affect our industry, some of the tactics that really damage the enterprise value of our practices and our businesses. As a distributor and reseller myself, these same things affect me, and this is the reason why myself and other board members came together to make these changes.
I'm Kris Groop with Aesthetic Advisor TV, and I'm here with Scott Carson of the Aesthetics and Cosmetic Business Association to begin our series, Zapped, Tactics that Laser Manufacturers Use Against You and What You Can Do to Protect Yourself. Scott, why is it currently necessary to recertify a laser, or what is a recertification fee, and how much does it run? How expensive is it?
Recertification fees can range from $10,000 to $20,000 all the way to $50,000 to $75,000. A mammoth amount of money. And the reason that we hear that there's recertification fees is that the manufacturer wants to bring the device in or send a tech into the field to make sure that it's the exact same device in every way, shape, or form from an output standpoint, performance standpoint, as it was from when it left the factory. And so they create these fees. So I think there's some legitimacy to the fact that they want to make sure that this device is quote unquote certified. However, let's use this as an example so people can really understand this. Let's say that you bought a new device or new Lexus, okay, for $80,000. Hypothetically, you bought an $80,000 car, similar to an $80,000 laser IPL RF device. And you took it home and you got it home and you didn't like the color, didn't like the performance, you made a bad decision, you had second thoughts about it. So you decided you want to sell it. So it's now 2 or 3 hours old and you take it back to the dealership and say, okay, what's it worth? You understand it's no longer a new car. They've already sold it. You've already paid for it. You're going to have some depreciation. So then you decide, you know what, I'm going to go sell it myself. I'm going to go sell it in the secondary market, see if I can get more money. Maybe someone wants to save $5,000 or $10,000. And then when you go to the marketplace to sell this, you put your Lexus on Craigslist, or you put it on eBay, or put it on one of these other trade books to sell it. And you have a buyer that wants to buy it. They want to save $5,000 or $10,000 buying a slightly used 1 hour old Lexus. And they call up the dealer and say, you know what, I just want to make sure that I can get service out of this device, that the warranty is transferable. First thing you find out, warranty is not transferable.
Not at all.
Not at all. First thing they say, you know what, you're not the original, we're not going to service anymore. Doesn't make any sense, but they're not going to do it. So you're like, you know what, I understand, I'll get a little bit better deal. Then you find out, you know what, they say, if you buy that Lexus from Kris, you're not going to be able to get parts for it. You're not going to be able to service because we don't do that, okay? Unless you pay us $35,000, $50,000, $70,000 in a recertification fee. And that customer's going, well, wait a sec, that doesn't make any sense. It's only an hour old. It's only an afternoon old. Why would there be a recertification fee?
Even if you haven't fired it.
Even if you haven't fired it. You haven't turned the key on. You had it towed home, okay? Because you wanted it to be nice. You just changed your mind. What people don't realize is that fee isn't being paid by the secondary buyer. That fee is being paid by the original buyer. Because that $80,000 Lexus is not worth $65,000 or $70,000 being a day or two old or an hour old. It's now worth $30,000, because in order to get any kind of support on that device, you've got to add that recertification fee of $30,000, $40,000 to the price, which pushes it down. So now your Lexus is worth $30,000, simply for some made up, ridiculous, completely asinine fee that doesn't have any basis in this industry, that only hurts the conditions in which they're serving.
So basically what they're trying to do is increase the price of the machine in the secondary market to exceed the price of a laser in the original market.
Great point. So today I was talking to a customer that was looking at a body contouring device. And as we've talked about in other segments, MSRP on this device is around $100,000, $110,000. They often sell it, if you're paying attention and you're knowledgeable and you have information, in the $80,000, $85,000 range. And there's lots of people that bought these devices, and because they were oversold on the technology or it didn't fit into their practice, need to really sell it. And they're thinking, you know what, I paid $80,000 or $90,000. I would like to be able to sell it and recoup maybe $60,000. I expect some depreciation. But then they find out when they go to sell it, there's a $27,000 recertification fee. So let's say that they're actively out there trying to sell a 1-year-old device for $80,000 that's substantially equivalent to one that's being sold for $80,000. And then you put on this recertification fee this manufacturer charges of $27,000, and it's now more money than what the fair price would be than a new one. Okay, so what it does is what people don't realize is the secondary market person, whoever's buying it, isn't paying that. It's the original owner, because it pushes the price down to $20,000. Because by the time you put on $27,000, it's now 50 or 55. So the price is now $20,000, and that's what the fair market retail value is. And so it does nothing more than hurt the enterprise value of that clinician's business by putting on these recertification fees. My argument has always been go the other direction. What manufacturers should do is embrace the secondary market, because what it does is it increases the residual value of their assets, and then increases more brand awareness and brand trust, brand credibility, so people want to buy that product. So for example, let's say a manufacturer went out there and said, we're going to support the secondary market, we're going to supply parts, and we're going to embrace that and let people buy and sell these devices freely. Well, what that's going to do is there's no recertification fee, so somebody would buy it, pay closer to a fair secondary market price, because they know they can get service and support. This, in fact, is building their brand, building trust in the brand, and more people will buy the product.
Well, thank you so much for spending time with us. We've spent some time discussing one tactic that laser manufacturers use against us and what you can do to protect yourself. I want to thank Scott Carson of the ACBA for spending his time with us. And if you'd like to check out the website, it's at acba.expert. My name's Kris Groop, and I'm with Aesthetic Advisor. Thanks for watching.